Have you ever loaded into a round of currency wars and thought to yourself, man, this would be so much easier if I didn't have to think about gold or econ or anything? Well, although I'd argue you wouldn't really be playing the game at that point, you're actually in luck. Thanks to this Reddit user, I'll have the link to their post down in the description, a new strat has been cooked up that generates infinite gold by buying and selling off Aventurine. The poor guy just can't catch a break. Before I explain the strat, one disclaimer is that even by following the steps, by the nature of the game, you'll still have to battle with RNG. The strat also involves a lot of rerolling, so this one is going to need a lot of free time and leans a bit more on the gimmicky side of things. That being said, the premise is still relatively simple. You'll want to start a run with one of two specific economic environments, either long-term gains, which lowers your reroll costs after 30 rerolls, or shift rotation, which will cause one of the unit rarities to have doubled odds of appearing. These odds will then also adjust after each preparatory phase node. The next step is to find the investment strategy gold panning, as that's going to be the core piece of our puzzle for this strat. If you don't get it, it's not going to work. You can find it on either Plane 1 or Plane 2, although obviously the earlier you can get it, the better. In short, your goal during this step is to simply find gold panning and reach Plane 2 at level 6 with as much gold as possible. Your HP doesn't really matter, so just play whatever board you can get naturally while prioritizing hitting those interest breakpoints. Moving on, step 3 is where you'll be spending a good chunk of time. Now that you have the pieces of the puzzle together and a sum of money, you'll want to try and reach a total of about 300 to 350 coins. To do so, you'll need to synthesize 2 cost units to 2 stars and then sell them immediately. Now, this would normally be a net loss because a 2-star 2 cost unit is worth 6 coins and selling them gives you 5 coins. But because of gold panning, you'll also get a free copy of Aventurine who's worth 2 coins. This essentially lets you generate 1 coin every time you do this process. That being said, you'll still need to repeat this process a lot though, and RNG will definitely affect how long and how successful this step goes. So I hope you have a good bit of time on your hands. Lastly, one thing I'd recommend doing as you're rerolling and synthesizing 2 stars is trying to place any pairs you get onto your board. Because of how many 2-cost units there are, if RNG is doing you dirty, you may wind up having to juggle bench and board space if you're not hitting your pairs. As such, placing my pairs on my board helped me keep track of which units I needed to prioritize in the shop in order to keep the ball rolling. Once you've gotten your 300 to 350 coin foundation, you'll want to go ahead and start making 3-star copies of every 2-cost unit. This will start to remove them from the store pool and set you up for maximizing your profits. And now for the last step. Once you've gotten a 3-star copy of every 2-cost unit, sell any and all 3-star Aventurines you may have. Then it's pretty straightforward. Just keep buying copies of Aventurine to make them 3 stars, sell that 3-star Aventurine, and repeat until you have enough coins to completely break the game with a level 10 squad of 3-star 5-cost units. And that's really it. It's a really busted strat if you can get it going. However, again, there's multiple layers of RNG to getting the right setup, and even more once you start rerolling the shop, so it may take you a while to get a run that takes it all. There's also a chance that this may be patched in the future, so feel free to check the comment section as I'll try and mention if this has been patched out for any future viewers. Thanks so much for watching. I'm a huge Auto Chess and Currency Wars fan, so I'm planning on making a few more guides and explanation videos in the coming days and weeks. So if you enjoyed this one, feel free to subscribe to catch those videos once they come out. Let me know in the comments what some of your favorite comps to run have been so far, and most importantly, have a blessed day.